Hi, everybody. I am Stephanie, and you may know me as the Crafty Medic. I live in Vancouver, BC right now, which is the unceded territory of the Musqueam, Tsleil-Waututh, and Squamish First Nations that are just some of the many Indigenous Coast Salish tribes here in the Pacific Northwest. I work as a registered nurse in the emergency room and the intensive care unit, as well as a paramedic on the ambulance. This work brings me into contact with a wide variety of people every day, and often I have to create a relationship and a rapport very quickly. Being able to build these relationships in my professional life has given me a unique skill set, which has allowed me to build my business and not only survive, but thrive and grow through things like the global pandemic that has caused businesses to suffer and even shut down. So I wanted to rehash this presentation that I did in 2020 for a Stampin' Up! Leadership group that is about diversifying your customer base. I've updated it a little bit for 2022, and I hope that you will learn something and that this helps your business grow. So back in 2020, I sent out a survey that was just kind of to get an idea of what the general demographics of crafters are. I wasn't able to get this information from Stampin' Up, so I thought I would just do it myself. We reached mostly English-speaking Stampin' Up demonstrators and customers, because that's what we were looking for. And I got about 200 responses, and I found out a lot about us. I really wasn't surprised to learn that the average demonstrator is a woman in her 40s to 60s who is Christian in a heterosexual marriage, has children, possibly even grandchildren, and is unilingual in English. However, even in this pretty small, pretty simple group, there was a lot of diversity. The ages ranged from 31 to 78. 5% identified as LGBTQ2+, 25% were multilingual, including languages like Afrikaans, Tagalog, and Hungarian. 15% did not live in the country of their birth. 15% did not have children, and 60% were employed outside of the home and Stampin' Up. So this was just in this one small group. What does your group look like? The easiest way to consider diversity, and one that we've talked about a lot, is what our crafting needs and styles are. We all have a style when we create. We use our artwork as a voice to share our story and our perspective with the world. This often resonates with people that come from a similar place as us. Our time of life has a huge impact on our style, as does our cultural background and lived experiences. By reaching outside this comfort zone to others who are in different places, we can reach and connect with a broader, more diverse customer base. To give you an example about how our craft needs and styles are diverse, let's consider a simple stamp set. We often talk about how Stampin' Up! Has so many floral stamp sets. It's gotten to the point where it's a joke amongst crafters, really. But have you considered that different sets meet different needs? So here's my take on 3 different floral stamp sets, and your perspective on these stamp sets might be completely different. We'll start with Lovely You, which has that modern style. This may appeal to a younger demographic, maybe beginners. This would be one of my top recommendations for somebody's first stamp set, for example. It has lots of different sentiments. These are really simple to stamp, and you can be very successful with very simple techniques. Then we would move on to a stamp set like Art Gallery that would appeal more to casual crafters who enjoy basic techniques like two-step stamping, and still has some of those different sentiments, but maybe a little bit more involved to create a project with this stamp set. And then last but not least, we have Blessings of Home. So this, I believe, is a distinctive stamp set, but it has kind of that more realistic look. It still has lots of different sentiments, but this one really lends itself to some more advanced techniques like watercoloring, those kinds of things. So we have three, all florals, but all very different stamp sets that will all appeal to different people. And that is just the beginning of how we all have a different perspective. So why should you diversify your customer base? There's two related but very different reasons. First, diversity provides your business the resilience to weather the storm. Catering to your own demographic is generally fairly easy. Maybe you have a group of moms from your kids' schools that get together once a month for a card class. Maybe all of your regular customers attend the same church as you. You understand these customers, you know what they need, and it's really easy for you to provide what they need. However, as many of us learned in the past couple of years, this can cause your business to be very sensitive to change. I hear it over and over again from demonstrators online, in groups, or talking to them one-on-one. I hear phrases like, none of my customers can afford to buy right now, or I have a completely in-person business and I can't get my customers online. Even, I don't know how to make my minimums right now. These past 2 years have been a scary time for all of us, but those who are comfortable with being uncomfortable and have a diverse business are stronger through these types of challenges. There is any number of factors that are going to affect your business. It could be personal income, an economic downturn, a global pandemic, and a diverse customer base will allow you to draw from different groups who may not be experiencing even the widespread events in the same way. During the pandemic, I had a lot of customers who were no longer able to afford to spend money on craft supplies. But because I cater to more than just one group, I had just as many whose income was not affected. And in fact, they were looking to spend more on crafts because the activities that they usually budgeted for were canceled. The second reason to diversify is growth. If you're always targeting the same demographic that you are comfortable with, you will eventually run out of new customers. By catering to different demographics, you will broaden your reach and you'll find new groups of customers, not just one or two individuals. This doesn't mean that you have to grow right now, but the potential is there if you choose to take it. Laying the groundwork now can not only bring you greater profits, but also greater satisfaction in the work that you are doing. I'll give you an example. I have a friend who I will call Charlotte. She was a customer who had been with me for many years. She originally attended classes with me in person before she had children. And then I took time off to go to school. She had children, went to school, and we just kind of kept in contact. She ended up subscribing to Paper Pumpkin because it was something that was easy for her to do while she was raising two babies. And then when I restarted my in-person classes, she was too busy with work and family and school, and I'd actually moved, and so she was too far away to attend in person. Then I think it was about 2019, I approached her about holding a workshop because it was going to be nearby. She agreed, but she did stipulate that it had to be kid-friendly. She had preschoolers and she didn't have anywhere else to bring them, and she wanted to have her friends be able to bring their children as well. I don't have kids of my own. That was a challenge, but we worked together and created projects that the kids and the parents would enjoy. Because I came out of my comfort zone, we had a very successful workshop. Charlotte was able to pay for her starter kit with rewards, and one of her friends even signed up. All of the attendees at her workshop were new to Stampin' Up, and they could only attend because they could bring their children. Nobody had given them that option before. So they got to experience something that had been closed to them before. Charlotte has since been one of my top selling team members and runs regular classes, mostly kit-based classes, because that's what appeals to her mom friends. So I've given you a couple of examples, but let's look at some more nitty-gritty specifics. To find people who are in a different place than you have to meet them where they are. You have to step out of your usual routine and, yes, the ever-present comfort zone to connect with new customers. Different demographics are in different virtual and in-person gathering points. So you have to find out where the people you want to connect with are. When I moved to my small town where I lived before, I met someone through a business networking group, and she agreed to not only let me sell my finished cards in her store, but she also let me run a monthly try it class there. I used very simple cards, often leftover kits, paper pumpkin and other kits, and I offered the first class for free if they pre-registered. Or if they were just looking for a card at the store and happened to run into me, they could just pay for the card as if it was one of my finished products. Almost everyone who made a card with me ended up placing orders for more products. Some of them even signed up and became demonstrators. One of my favorite experiences was when I saw a gentleman looking for a birthday card for his wife. I approached him and I said, "Wouldn't you rather make her a card than buy her one?" And he accepted my offer. I helped him make a card for the first time in his life. And when he was finished, he wanted to make a Mother's Day card as well. So we did that too. And he was already talking about the card he was going to make for his wife for her next birthday the next year. A couple days later, I got a lovely message from his wife telling me how much she appreciated the card, and she's now a customer as well. In the digital world, every age group and every social group has their own social media preferences. Facebook is a fairly safe option. Most of us are fairly familiar with it, and a lot of people in our general age groups and crafters tend to be on Facebook. But there are others that may use platforms like Instagram, even TikTok, or are not on social media at all, but will watch a YouTube video or read a blog or an email newsletter. While it can be daunting to branch out, the beauty of all these different platforms is that most of them communicate. So you can actually post to multiple platforms at once. For example, I make most of my posts on Instagram, which automatically posts to my Facebook page. And then in the past, I've used a free online service to post that same image and text to my blog. While it's certainly not the optimized system according to the experts, this allows me to reach 3 different audiences in the same amount of effort that it would take to post to one platform. You also need to offer something different. You have your style and your voice in your creations, but you want to be able to show your customers that there are other perspectives as well. I often work with other demonstrators to share the workload of designing a class or event. This not only allows us to increase the amount of projects that we offer our customers, but allows our customers to see different perspectives on the same products. For example, I worked a lot with my friend Kara in Washington. Her customer base is a little bit older than mine in general, so we create projects that are very different. I tend to create more cards, use more white space, my projects come together a little bit quicker. And then she tends to create more intricate projects, more 3D items, lots of embellishments, huge bows. But because we share our different projects and styles, we can expand what we offer our customers, and it's no extra work. Another way that you can offer something different is to create for holidays, celebrations, and events that you may not celebrate yourself. I've been using the hashtag #StampingDiversity to showcase these types of projects for years, and it's a lot of fun. I research celebrations from different cultures, what is appropriate and relevant, and create a project inspired by what I learn. Not only does this broaden my knowledge of other cultures, but it shows my willingness to learn and be creative, and I get some really cool cards made. Some of the cards I've made include cards for Buddhist, Sikh, Muslim, and secular holidays, but also for life events such as the wedding of a same-sex couple, the adoption of an older child, and recognizing a surrogate mother. None of these had a ready-made sentiment or card idea available, but through some research and creativity, I was able to make something meaningful for someone who wouldn't have otherwise been able to get the card they needed. It only takes a few minutes on Google or Wikipedia to get inspiration, and the fulfillment that I get from reaching people who feel like nobody is even trying to reach them is amazing. I would absolutely love to see each of you create a hashtag Stamping Diversity project and share it so that we can all learn about different occasions to celebrate. I wish I had more time to share ideas with you, but I don't want to keep you all day. I'm going to share my handout with more actionable ideas on my blog that you can find at www.thecraftymedic.com. I'll find a way to pop that down in the comments or something. And that handout will hopefully give you some more inspiration on how you can diversify your customer base, both in the real world and online. But I'm going to leave you with one last piece of advice, and that is to be personable, vulnerable, and available. People want a connection. Make a point to reach out, follow up, and be involved with others. Be open to learning and sharing with others. Find the commonalities between you and don't focus on the differences, and you will find the potential in those relationships. If you can genuinely do it, make your openness to diversity visible, whether it's a physical sign at your doorway, a digital one on your blog. A clear message that all are welcome here can be very powerful and make people feel more comfortable with you. However, back that up with other content. Your spoken or written words, shared projects, and actions will hold way more power than any intentional gesture. So to wrap up, diversifying your customer base is a way to future-proof and grow your business. To do this, you need to meet customers where they are, either virtually or in the real world, and offer something different. Finally, connect with people, be genuine in engaging others, and don't be afraid to step outside your comfort zone. Happy stamping and have a great day. I'll see you next time. Bye.